Thomas and Nicholas. That's my introduction.
Was that my introduction? It was just like, just listen for my name.
So, welcome Tom, everybody. My name's Kate. I have a podcast called Creative Creatures, and last year, or earlier this year, I had Tom on. We became friends. He asked me, do you want to come and do a live podcast? I've never done anything like that before, but good music, one of my favorite people, and one of my favorite movies. Sounds fucking awesome, man. How are you, Tom? How's your flights, Australia?
Everything's good, you know. It's been a fun seconds tour. I was obviously just on your podcast in February, and I was here at the Laundry Bar in February. So it took me 10 years to get my first tour in Australia, and now I'm back for the second time, and I'm coming back again in October to open up for Zebrahead, so we'll be at Max Watts. And I was just talking to Laundry Bar about maybe doing an after-party DJ set, so.
I love that.
So basically, I'm just gonna live in Australia now.
Straight off the plane onto the morning show with that guy from The Price is Right or whatever. How was that?
What? Is he from The Price is Right?
Yeah, I think so.
A contestant or?
He used to be the host. I don't know. Someone correct me. Was he on The Price is Right? The host? Chase. No, he was on The Price is Right back in the
Wasn't that hosted by Bob Barker?
The 90s. He said it was his favorite movie, American Pie, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. So
He was pitching me the sequel for American Pie 5. He was calling it Damper Pie. Is that what he said? I don't know. He's explaining some bread, some Australian bread. That's not what he said on TV.
We're gonna get on
Damper, right? Yeah.
We're going to get on to American Pie 5 in a sec, man, because I hear there's...
We did say I've given you the exclusive on American Pie 5 and the rumors, so we've been waiting for this moment.
Well, look, there's something about American Pie and pop punk and emo that goes hand in hand, right? The era, the 90s era, and you manage, because of what you do in your band, you bring them both together, which is so perfect. Now, here in Melbourne, we know of a few establishments. Next, Bang, AM, PM, they're the emo nights that we know of. But tell us,
There's one here in Melbourne called Emo Never Sleeps as well,
yeah,
so.
Yeah. To be fair, those nights at Bang are a little bit hazy. I don't know if anyone else can relate. Memory is a little bit hazy. But. So what is the American Pie version and the Thomas and Nicholas band version? What are we in for tonight?
Well, this is obviously a new idea, doing this podcast. Although it's not very dissimilar to showing the film and then doing a Q&A. So this is kind of like we skipped the movie.
You got to remember. You got to use your memories to remember the movie.
Yeah, we went right to the Q&A. But yeah, basically what's going to happen after this podcast interview with Key and Creative Creatures is my band is going to play some of your favorite songs from the American Pie soundtrack albums, as well as songs from my 7th album that just came out last year. And then, if that's not enough for you, I'm gonna do an emo DJ set and play all the emo bangers and all the pop punk bangers.
Now,
so basically, just to interrupt, sorry, it's basically a night of nostalgia.
I like that.
Who doesn't fucking like nostalgia? I live for it.
Now, we already did one pod. By the way, you can find our podcast on YouTube or Creative Creatures, the Instagram. But what I thought we'd try and do is break the Hollywood myth that the sequel is never as good as the original. So we're gonna see if we can do that. This is the podcast sequel. Now, in saying that,
we're the sequel of our own podcast.
Sequel of our podcast we did earlier this year.
Thomas Ian Nicholas, Part 2.
Now, in saying that, American Pie 2 was kind of good. It was fucking good.
There's a lot of people that say exactly that. They say it's better than the first.
So I thought that's how, before we get on to 5, why don't you just tell us 1, 2, 3, 4, which one was your favorite? Go through American Pie 1. I heard that was shot, Stifler's house was a real house, right?
In the first movie and the second film, yes, Stifler's mom's house was a real house in Pasadena.
Right.
And
It's not full studios. You're dealing in real houses on real streets, and then the later movies.
well, the upstairs was on a studio, not because the downstairs, like in the living room where you first saw the, no longer will our penises remain flaccid and unused.
Woo!
That bit, oh Jesus, my belt buckles.
So we want to see the party is getting going now.
This is an American Pie party. I got excited there for a second. Forgot myself.
Starting to heat up.
My penis was about to stop remaining flaccid and unused. Holy shit, that's embarrassing.
All right, so what about the wedding? That was like on some castle, up in the hills. Was that on location? Was that good fun?
The castle, what?
The wedding. The wedding.
Oh, the wedding.
American.
Well, so that's when we started. Also, there is one shot in American Pie 2 that we weren't at. Right. It was a helicopter shot of us leaving to go to the beach house.
Yeah.
That was actually shot in Michigan where the film takes place.
Right.
So that's the only time out of all the movies it was ever filmed in Michigan, and it was with our stunt doubles. So American Wedding was our first time going on location. So we went to Northern California.
Is that the most fun then? I feel.
Oh, yeah. We got into a lot of trouble. I can't talk about it.
I heard they got busted going to a strip club on the lowdown or something. But
yeah. Oh, I did tell you that story in Texas, didn't I?
that might have been on the lowdown.
Yeah, that was on the lowdown. Thanks for revealing that. Now I know that I can't fucking tell you any secrets.
Don't worry.
Duly noted. Check.
I got more secrets to tell. But before we get on to that, all right, American Pie 5, I have heard rumors galore. I hear something about a funeral. There's a script that exists out there. Is this going to happen? Come on, give us the gossip.
So here is the gossip, and it's kind of a crazy story, and this kind of fell into my lap. So when I was here in February, people started asking me, they said, oh, we're seeing this like rumors on Facebook about American Funeral, and they're gonna kill Stifler's mom and like bring everyone back together, and apparently like Sean's read it and he loves it, and when are you shooting it? And I'm like, and I was like, what is this rumor? Like, how did this thing go viral? Because we have been talking about a sequel.
I heard there was a script in existence. It exists.
There was a story concept back in 2012. I don't know that there was ever a script written. They were negotiating for it in 2021, but this year, so I get this email from a company that wanted to make me aware of how this happened, of this rumor of American Funeral. So this is crazy, and I wanted to share it with all of you tonight on Key's podcast for Creative Creatures. So there was, a year ago, a script writing contest. And one of the contestants wrote a sample of an American Pie 5 spec script called American Funeral. So this script apparently got downloaded 1,000 times because they were this winner of this script contest. And then someone took that and then AI'd Sean William Scott and wrote a fake article that he had read it and like cried. So this is all because of some like fan fiction writing this American Pie sequel.
So a script exists, it's just not necessarily written by the top dogs. Just someone creative out there.
But apparently it's a fan favorite because they won the contest. And then it like went on to this.
Good.
But I was like, this is crazy. How is it that could like even happen? And now we're just seeing AI like take over all of our social media feed, like all of our views and like doom scrolling. You're just getting hit with so much fake content now. Our kids are screwed.
So there you have it. So there's a chance. There's a chance maybe if everyone, Sean William Scott may
Look,
give it the tick.
I will say this. Nobody is killing Stifler's mom, okay?
MILF, 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 MILF.
She's a Golden Globe winner now. You can't like kill like one of the best characters who's also an award winner. So, but they have been talking about it for a while, and I can tell you that Jason, Chris, Eddie, Sean, myself included, Tara, Mina, Shannon, Allison, we're all down to do the sequel. So we're just waiting for Universal to figure it the fuck out.
I like it. Now, I got a few more. Now, after we did our podcast, I went to the States. I caught up with Tom. So we went on a tour. I went on his tour around Texas, and it's fair to say some late nights, plenty of beers, like plenty of fun. So during those long drives, like I heard a little bit, like some of it maybe I'm not meant to tell, and I might happen to sneak some. Did you ever consider going to any of those spin-offs? Come on, like.
Do I consider what about the spin-offs?
Going in them, a little cameo in the
No,
spin-offs.
they offered me 2 cameos in them, and I turned them down.
Did you consider it for a second?
No, because the first thing that they offered me was in Book of Love. They wanted me to play some like high school teacher, and then they were gonna hire Tara Reid to play some high school teacher, and we were gonna have like some sort of moment. But I already knew that we were doing American Reunion, and I was like, well, because at that time, this was like back in 2011, this is before they started like doing alternate timeline sequels and erasing canon. Like
multiverse.
Yeah, well, like not even multiverse. Like I did Halloween Resurrection. Fuck yeah! Woo! See, there's at least 3 people that like that movie. I'm not one of them. But they like Jamie Lee Curtis dies in that movie. And then she said she would never come back and do another one. But then she went and did 3 more, and now my film doesn't exist. So anyway, when I got the offer, to do that part, I was like, well, I don't want to mess up the timeline of Kevin and like mess with what's going to happen with American Reunion.
Smart. Did you ever watch?
No.
Brutal.
And then when they did Girls Rules, they offered me the main character's dad role, who happened to be named Kevin, but the character wasn't anything like Kevin. And I was like, well, this is weird. And I was like, no, thank you.
Well, in our first podcast, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tom had the brilliant idea to turn down the role of Kevin Myers when he was first offered it. And it was almost given to the bully or the model guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. So first of all, we're all glad that you changed your mind on that and took up the role. Like, what a fucking idiot.
Hey, come on, Andrew's my friend. We went to high school together.
But like you said, there's something, the casting of that movie, I mean, the Stiffmeister is just a piece of art. Like, and then, as you said, Stifler's mom has gone on to massive things. The MILF guy is like Harold and Kumar and on all sorts of stuff. And then the girl who plays Jessica, she's got her own lead role. Is the casting guy like a genius or some clairvoyant or what the fuck?
I mean, Joseph Middleton is a fantastic casting director. He's cast a bunch of great projects, and we got really lucky though, I think.
Luck or just pure?
I mean, at least the way that I kind of landed into the role seems a bit lucky. How I turned it down, and then Andrew couldn't take the job, and they came back to me again. So it was like, it was meant to be.
Fate.
Yeah, it was fate.
Now, we're here for an emo night, so I got to ask you about Blink-182. They tell me, I asked you on this podcast, but tell me about that, right? They are on set. You went and saw them, correct?
Yeah, I had already wrapped filming for the first movie, but one of the executives had given us a copy of Dude Ranch, which, by the way, do you know what Dude Ranch means? There's one person. Do you know what Dude Ranch means?
I heard it, but I've forgotten now.
I just played a show with a Blink-182 tribute act on my birthday, and I was backstage afterwards, and we were just chatting, and they just randomly was like, do you know what Dude Ranch means? I was like, I don't know what it means. It basically just means like a dude's cum. So every Blink album is named after some sexual euphemism.
Man chowder.
It's the man chowder.
It's man chowder.
It's Kevin's pale ale.
All right, so apparently Mutt is in the movie from Blink. Apparently they did a music video about this. Do you know, was there definitely a music video about Mutt that was recorded on the set of American Pie?
Well, I mean, they shot the band playing on that set.
What set? Oh,
The set in the movie, like where remember when like when they're Nadia's on screen, it's during that whole sequence,
right.
And you see them like in a garage band practice space, and they kind of stop playing to watch Nadia on the computer. So they got onto those instruments in that stage, and they put the camera on a dolly track, and they shot this like.
How certain are you? Because I heard our like podcast clip like went kind of viral about this. I just touched on it like very, very briefly, and Mark Hoppus like responded to it saying we did not record a Martin music video. So did they definitely have instruments on that stage? And who told you that? And
you see it in the movie.
No, but did they play it?
Yes, they. I mean, look. Did they shoot an entire music video? No. They shot one camera angle on a dolly track that was going to be one, like, you know, when you watch a music video, there's like one set piece that they kind of jump back to and then they go to other stuff.
Right.
That was the one shot of the band performance portion. I mean, this happened. I was there.
I'm just checking. Who's the guy in the front with the long blonde hair?
That was Daniel Spink. He's got long red hair.
Right. Why is he there? Is he just to kind of help with the...
He was one of the producer's brothers.
Right. And what about the monkey? This is another thing you said.
Okay, so the monkey is... I mean, you guys have heard about the monkey theory, right? Or do you want to know about the monkey theory? Have you ever wondered why the fuck there's a monkey in American Pie? All right, so Chris Weitz, one of the directors of American Pie, had a theory that if you put a monkey in a movie as a cameo, then the film will be successful. It's like a good luck charm.
Sounds like he knew his shit.
Well, he was like, he referenced, you can't have the monkey be the main character. Those films don't work. It has to be a cameo. Like in Indiana Jones, there's a monkey. Successful movie. Friends, the TV show. There's a monkey, Marcel. And in fact, that monkey is played by Crystal the monkey, who happens to also be our monkey. And Crystal is still alive. Crystal is still kicking. We shot that movie 26 years ago.
Bring the monkey back. Why wasn't the monkey in the reunion? Or Blink-182?
Well, I mean, if you, at least as far as the box office, the first and second ones were the most successful because of the monkey.
I guess the monkey didn't go to the school, so it makes sense that it's not at the reunion. But, all right, man, so on to your music. You play pop punk, emo music. The movie is about emo music. You have a very unique way of touring where you come over by yourself and get local artists to play with you. I fucking love that. Have you ever had any disaster? Has anyone ever been drunk and fallen off the stage, or like...
I plead I take my United States residency and plead the Fifth Amendment about falling off stages. No, it's always been awesome. In fact, the last time I was here in Melbourne, one of my shows got canceled, and so I looked around to see what artists were playing shows, and so I hit up this band that lives here in town called Naked Face, and they were playing at Workers Club. And so I hit them up on Instagram. I was like, hey, can I come open for you? I've got a show that canceled and I'm on tour in Australia. So they said yes. So now Steve and Luke from Naked Face are jamming in my band tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't fall off the stage.
And no one's falling off the stage. Tomorrow in Seaford at Scotty's Garage, Naked Face will be opening and they will also be jamming in my band again.
All right, so I want to hear some fucking music, all right? So before we get on to that, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. See, when I went over to see Tom over in the States, and I go to Texas, and I end up joining him on his tour, and we're out drinking, I kind of thought, like, I guess your initial reaction is, like, you're hanging out with Kevin Myers here, so there's going to be some American Pie, like, shit that goes down. And then you're like, nah, it's just an actor, it's show business, I'm sure there'll be no, like, incidents, it'll be incident-free. Well, not the case. Why don't you tell everyone about how you almost got us arrested by the policeman on the motorbike? We're driving along the road. Tom's driving.
No, not driving along the road. We pulled out of a parking garage.
To a very, very busy
and
highway.
The GPS said, turn right. So I turned right. And then I just wasn't paying any attention that all the cars were parked facing the opposite direction on both sides of the street. And we stop at the intersection.
Massive intersection.
And I look up and I go, that's really weird. Why are the stoplights, like the red, yellow, green, the stoplights, facing away from us?
And it's Texas, so there's all these self-driving cars around. So it's like something out of the Jetsons or something. So he's like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, you've been in Australia too long, bro. And then he's like,
I'm going the wrong way on a one-way street. I'm like, fuck. So I go to turn around, and as I'm like pulling an illegal U-turn, a motorcycle cop pulls me over. I'm like, welcome to America, Key.
He used his charm to get out of that one, though. I'm an actor, Another time.
You make it sound like I go, don't you know who I think I am? That's not what I said. I said, listen, I pulled out of the parking garage and the GPS told me to turn right and I followed it and I realized I was going the wrong way. I could show you my parking ticket. They're like, we're going to have to cite you with a warning. And then they let us go.
The charm. Another time, though, we had a very important meeting the next day, right? We're doing some business. We're going to see Jarrett Reddick, the lead singer of Bowling for Sue, right? And I convinced him, like, why don't we go out? We'll have a couple of beers, He's like, no, I got this important meeting. I'm like, no, we'll take it easy. So we go out, we have a couple of beers, and he's kind of like, he's got his hat pulled low, he's got a beard and a hoodie. So no one instead of leaving us to our own devices, a couple of hours in, we're having a few beers. Anyway, someone cottons on that, it's Kevin Myers in the house. From that point on, it was like complete shenanigans. These locals are leading us to food trucks and giving us half-price fucking pizzas, and we're going into kick-ons at these secret nightclubs. There's cars driving. We end up at like Stifler's house party or something. There's some jacuzzi. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but the next day, I wake up at like midday. And Tom's just like out of it. I'm like trying to wake the guy up, turning all the lights on, opening the blinds. We're like, we got to get to Jarrett's house. We're going to his hometown of Jarrett. Anyway, it was a big one. It was a party.
Should we tell him why we were meeting with Jarrett?
My very next question. Tell him about the podcast, my man.
Yeah, so obviously when I did the podcast here in Melbourne with Key back in February, and obviously now again with Creative Creatures, Key is producing my podcast, which is called Also Known For, where I'll be introducing people that you know and talking about their other projects that they're doing that you maybe aren't as familiar with. So for instance, the first guest on the podcast when we launch in September is Jarrett Reddick, the lead singer of Bowling for Soup. So we shot that episode. The second guest is Patrick Renna from The Sandlot, which is awesome. He played Ham. So Jarrett, obviously you know him as the lead singer of Bowling for Soup. Do you know what Chuck E. Cheese is here?
We know of Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if you've ever had it, but yeah.
But you've heard of Chuck E. Cheese. Jarrett Reddick has been the voice of Chuck E. Cheese for 15 years. So we talk about that. Also, you guys know the cartoon Phineas and Ferb. So they just launched a new season. So we talk about that because these are obviously the things that Jarrett Reddick is also known for. And Patrick Renna, you know him from The Sandlot, but he just wrote a kid's book. So we talk about his children's book during the podcast.
I was there. It's very good. So check it out when it comes out. It was so classic. But that's it. Look, we're going to put this up online. You can find it on Creative Creatures. That's a little cut off there, Creative Creatures cast. I think that's it, man. Well, you want to get a photo? Oh, Mitch, do you want to jump on stage and just get a photo of everyone doing... Get them to dim the lights.
Yeah, if you can dim the stage lights so we can see all the amazing people that came here to hang out with us. We're going to grab a photo with you, and then my band is going to come on stage, and we're going to get this party started.